All right, Shalom. Shalom, giving all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest, I one from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And back again, speaking about these shakings and rumblings in the earth. So a lot of news has been coming out lately on this, and the Spirit is just on me to speak on it. These things that we're seeing happening around the world are a testament to the words and the prophecies in the Holy Bible, which shows that the scriptures, excuse me, will show you that the scriptures are a true and living book. You just can't get around the truth, the wisdom and knowledge of the Holy Scriptures, of the Holy Bible. Although you do have people that read the Bible and misinterpret, or they speak lies on the Scriptures, or you got these Christian pastors who don't really know what they're talking about. They don't really know how to preach or teach from the Bible, or even what it's about. But nevertheless, the Lord has set up his prophets in these last days through his Holy Spirit to truly bring out the words of this book and reveal it, and to make it a reality, to show you how our reality corresponds with what the Bible says, such as these earthquakes. So what I have here is an article from Science Daily, and it says AI uncovers 86,000 hidden earthquakes beneath Yellowstone's surface. And this is from July 21st, 2025. So as of Monday, right? So all this is recent news. This is something that I'm digging up from a few years back. No, this information has come out this week. So it says researchers designate 10 times more earthquakes than previously recorded. All right, July 1st, 2025, the University of Western Ontario, which is up there in Canada. So let's see. So let's see here. Excuse me. Let me get this water. All right, excuse me. I just ate. I was doing some running around, moving around and stuff. But let's get back into this. So it says, beneath Yellowstone's stunning surface lies a hyperactive seismic world, now better understood thanks to machine learning. Researchers have uncovered over 86,000 earthquakes, 10 times more than previously known, revealing chaotic swarms moving along rough, young fault lines. With these new insights, we're getting closer to decoding Earth's volcanic heartbeat and improving how we predict and manage volcanic and geothermal hazards. And Yahweh Shai created the earth to be inhabited, to create life, to recycle life, You know, Earth, as they say, is like it's a living creature within itself. So there are a lot of things that now Esau science is able to catch up on and understand. And a lot of things are happening now, breaking records and historical record events are happening and taking place now because of the prophecies in the scriptures. And this is the full story here. It says Yellowstone, a popular tourist destination and namesake of an equally popular TV show, was the first ever national park in the United States. Yeah, I remember learning about that in U.S. history. You know, if your teacher ever gave you any of those fun facts or things like that. Anyway, it says, and bubbling beneath it to this day is one of Earth's most seismically active networks of volcanic activity. Yeah, there's a lot of hot springs and warm springs that you can go out to Yellowstone and you can visit and see, and you can see the geyser, the famous geyser, spring forth out of the earth. And you know too, and this also proves that the earth was flooded. Okay, it proves that the earth can bring forth water from underneath it. Scientists also discovered that there's an actual ocean underneath the earth. I gotta do a video on that. I got some articles from about a year or so ago that go into that discovery. But it proves that, you know, the earth itself is not as understood as they tell you in this, you know, American school system. Like I said, it proves that the flood actually happened. You know, you had water coming from the heavens, which was something new. By the way, the dew of the earth comes from underneath the earth. That was the way that plants watered. You didn't need to catch rainwater and water plants. The earth took care of itself during the time of Adam and during the time of Noah. Then after Noah, that's when we started to see the rain coming from the sky. So you had rain from heaven and you had rain from under the earth. As a matter of fact, let's go to scriptures. Genesis, I believe it's the 6th chapter. Okay, Genesis 6. So what I want to get is, let's see, when the flood actually took place. Okay, Genesis 7. And show you that even underneath the earth, not only is there fire, like you got the core of the earth is heated up, but you also have you also had you have water as well. Okay, let's see. It wasn't just rain. Let's see here. Yep, here we go. So this is Genesis 8:1. And the Most High remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And the Most High made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. That's why when you see, they'll tell you that, well, these different sediment layers in the ground are are because of are just, well, like you'll see in the fossil record, different sedimentary layers. Sediment means, going back to the dirt layers, so you can understand. And you'll see that in the fossil record, there's certain fish and even certain land animals within the same sediment layer, but they say goes back millions of years or hundreds of thousands of years, and that's false. All that pseudoscience and evolution is BS. That's just how they make up stuff to pretty much lie on the Most High. Because when you have a mudslide, you trap animals and plants in the ground, and it creates layers of dirt, depending on how much gets piled on top, and it hardens over time. I mean, you would have to go through the process. But anyway, after it becomes rock and the waters receded, or as waves, as it says here, things got settled. And we can see that today. So here's the point, verse 2. The fountains also of the deep, and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. So you had the rain from the sky, and you also had the fountains of the water from beneath the earth. You even have spouts of water that come from under the ocean, and it's heated up. You got animals and certain fish that live down there as well. Okay, so that was pretty much the point. That was the point there. So let's go back here. Okay, it says in a new study published July 18th in the high-impact journal Science Advances, Western engineering professor Bing Li and his collaborators at Universidad Industrial de Santander, Industrial University of Santander, in Colombia, and the USGS, United States Geological Survey, used machine learning, which is AI, to re-examine historical earthquake data from the Yellowstone caldera over a 15-year period. So not even 20 years, just the last few years, decade and a half. The team was able to retroactively detect and assign magnitudes to approximately 10 times more seismic events or earthquakes than previously recorded. The historical catalog for the Yellowstone caldera now contains 86,276 earthquakes spanning the years 2008 to 2022, significantly improving previous understanding of volcanic and seismic systems through better data collection and systematic analyses. So there's a lot of activity under the earth, a lot of quakes, a lot of things are happening than what people have previously been able to research. Okay? Now, the next one here, I want to deal with this. This is from the Economic Times. All right, it says tremors felt in Delhi, NCR, as 3.2 magnitude earthquake hits Faridabad. All right. Let's read this. Tremors, and this is from July 22nd, 2025, so as of yesterday. Hey, there's earthquakes happening all the time, but the frequency of these earthquakes and the number of them have increased pursuant to prophecy in these last days than before. In these different places, not that of course over history. I mean, there's earthquakes that happen that haven't been recorded. Yeah, earthquakes happen, but what we're looking at is signs of the end of this system. These earthquakes are happening along with other signs that are to take place in this current society. Okay, matter of fact, and I always bring this out. Second Ezra, the ninth chapter. Second Ezra 9:3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world. So it's not just, oh, yeah, earthquakes been happening. No, they're going to happen around a number of other significant prophetic events taking place that are going to be signs. Okay? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, which there's a significant amount of protests, uproars, and riots taking place all over the planet in different countries. Citizens protesting and marching against their governments. It says, then shalt thou well understand, right? And these things are happening in the world. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee. When you speak before something happens, that's prophecy. So the Lord uses prophets to speak on these things. One of those prophets here is Ezra, but also Yahushua. All right? It says, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonder and powerful works, like creation of the universe happened as a wonder, as a powerful work from the angels in the heavens, and endings and effects and signs. And then these kingdoms, they are ending with effects, signs, and it's all prophecy. Okay? So, hey, we're in the time of these things taking place. Back over here in India, which is the capital of India is Delhi, or New Delhi, I believe. It says, tremors were felt across parts of the Delhi National Capital Region early Tuesday morning after an earthquake hit Haryana, though there were no reports of injuries or damage. According to the National Center for Seismology data, the quake measured 3.2 on the Richter scale. Now, I mentioned before how a lot of these quakes are going to be 5.0, 6.0 and above. But you still have your smaller scale quakes as well. The point is that these things are going to happen at the same time, a lot of the times on the same day in different places. Maybe the same week or same month, different regions are going to feel these quakes. It's not just going to be one place. It says it struck around 6 a.m. with Faridabad identified as the epicenter. Let's see if there's any more. That's it on that then. Bunch of weird ads. Okay, so Faridabad, Haryana, India. Right, so this happened in India. Right, New Delhi. Okay, New Delhi. National Center for Seismology. So, thousands of quakes have happened in Yellowstone, which they say that place is pretty much Yellowstone is pretty much a super volcano region, and it is due to blow its top. It could blow its top, so to speak, soon, and that could be a major blow to America as well. But we know that the destruction of America is going to come via nuclear missiles. But these earthquakes and these regions are becoming a lot more volatile in these last days. Okay. So another one here. This is from the New York Post, July 22nd, 2025, the hopeful year. 2025 being the hopeful year of our deliverance and destruction, and the destruction and judgment on Esau. Hopefully we're delivered. Hopefully the destruction of Esau and his judgment takes place within the next year, because we're looking to be delivered out of Babylon the Great, those of us Israelites of the hopeful elect. So it says 6 earthquakes rattle same New Jersey County in one day. So this is here in the U.S., New Jersey. It was a loud boom. Okay? So it says 6 minor earthquakes shook one New Jersey county in a single day, rattling residents as the ground beneath them wouldn't stay still. Now, usually it's places like California, Los Angeles County that feels a lot of these earthquakes out there out west. But even here on the East Coast, you got the Appalachian Mountain region and these different states here on the East Coast, which, where you got mountains, there's usually fault lines. Fault lines when the tectonic plates grind together, so to speak. That's when you get these quakes. Now, I don't know much about, the region up top, Northeast. I'm down here in Atlanta, Georgia, but Atlanta, Georgia, baby. But there's quakes that happen up there too, in the Northeast. New York, New Jersey, I believe Vermont and all of that. So here it says Morris County became the epicenter of hysteria Monday as the series of quakes ranging from a magnitude 0.7 to 2.0 rocked the Randolph area 5 times and nearby Mendham once in the roughly 17-hour span, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Like I mentioned before, earthquakes in diverse places are going to take place pursuant to the words of Yahweh Shai. Let's get that scripture. Matthew 24. But what I want to do, I want to read this in another version. So, Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now let me see. I want to read this in another version. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Okay, so this was a good one here. I never read this before. This is the NLT. Okay, it says nation will war against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. Famines were like food shortages, water shortages, earthquakes in many different parts of the world. That's what diverse means. Even though in Old English, they spell diverse here without an E at the end. It's just, it looks like divers, but it's the word diverse. The WEB for nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And in the AMP, the Amplified Version, for nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. Right, a variety of different places. The BBE, this is good. For nation will be moved against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Matter of fact, Trump is saying that they're going to arm Ukraine, even though he was talking about when he was campaigning for president, saying he was going to end the war between Ukraine and Russia. But he's about to send the weapons over there to Ukraine. So that was not stopping, right? You got nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. You had the recent, what was it, 12-day war between Israel and Iran. That was a war. But see, all these things are leading into World War III. And there's a ceasefire, but things are going to heat back up because Israel and America versus Iran and Russia, that has to take place. That's going to be the major nations that's going to fight in the Battle of Armageddon, World War III. It says that men will be without food, okay, and the earth will be shaking in different places. So this is what we're talking about here, the earth shaking in different places. Okay, so because the prophecy, we got to speak on it. I got to say something. Okay? The Lord says he's not going to any longer hold his peace. Well, who's going to be speaking on earth for the Lord? The prophets. So as we see it, we call it out. Right? We give you the news, the good news, the gospel. The good news is because these things are taking place, and then we know that our salvation is nearer than when we believed. Okay? Let's see. Oh, here in Georgia. This is from Decatorish.com. Here in Georgia, baby. Right? Georgia earthquake. Sure, why not? Okay, so this is, okay, I didn't see this. February 2014, updated May 22. I wonder why they updated this. It says apparently Georgia expected a 4.1 magnitude earthquake, which we did feel a major earthquake recently. Let me see here. Georgia experienced a 4.1 magnitude earthquake. Let's see here. So apparently that was an older web page, but here's something more recent. Now check this out. These are all the recent quakes. I'm about to say, I know I didn't feel them. Well, Georgia's a big state. You don't feel everything everywhere. There's a recent quake here in Atlanta. Certain brothers felt it in the camp and people in different places. I didn't feel it. So here what we have here, this is from Significant Earthquakes, EMSC.com. I'm sorry, .eu. And you had a 5.1 in Crete, Greece, a 3.7 Honshu, Japan, off the coast, a 5.2 in eastern Kazakhstan, a 5.5 off the east coast of Kamchatka. I think I spoke on that. That's out there in Russia. Another 3.7 in Greece, a 3.5 in Poland. This is as of yesterday. So these earthquakes are taking place. And like I say, a lot of them are 5.0s and above, 6.0s. You got a lot of 3s, 4.8, 5.8, 5.3, 4.4. So over there in that Kamchatka region of Russia, it's a lot of earthquakes taking place. A 4.2 in Switzerland. 4.0s in Chile. So, hey, the prophecies are ringing true. The prophecies are ringing true, man. Okay? I thought this was a recent article, but that's okay. It came up in my recent news. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this. Let's go to Google. Google. just google.com. I'm not trying to Google google.com. Let's see, there was an earthquake in Georgia. Since it came up, I didn't feel anything down here. Down here. Let's see if there's any news. Okay, yeah, so you see this. This came up 17 hours ago. 4.1 magnitude earthquake jolts Tennessee, parts of Georgia, and Carolinas. Let me do this. Sort by date. It says there was one near the state line 2 weeks ago. So what is this AOL.com? Okay, so this goes back to May 10th. So I guess it says originally CBS News. Yeah, so this was the most recent quake that I mentioned my brothers say they felt, even here in Atlanta. But this is from May 10th, but I guess they're just reporting on it now. So just gotta, check things out. Sometimes you get these new news alerts, but then there'll be of news, sometimes even years ago. I guess different websites pick them up and then put them up on their pages. Anyway, so you get the point. We're living in a time of, the words of Yahweh Shema Shai, the words of the Bible, prophecies manifesting, taking place. Let me get the book of Romans 13. I'm about to close. Romans chapter 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So continue to watch, continue to pray, continue to watch and pray and pay attention to what's going on around you, not just locally, not just in your country, but worldwide. Things are happening that is, and the reason why these things happen, we watch the signs, is for us to build our faith up. Like, Yahweh Shai said this was going to happen. So we have to pay attention so we know that Yahweh Shai, our deliverer, he's about to come back, simply put. All right, Romans 13:11 again. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, get out of that lackadaisical, I don't want to push the truth, I ain't a Hebrew Israelite no more, I don't want to deal with the community, you don't want to, it's toxic, get out of that mindset. We're about to be delivered. Those of us that are hopeful elect, man. Continue to watch these prophecies, pay attention, push, continue in the faith. It says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed, and it definitely is. We got to be patient. But what may seem like had been years to come, it's going to be well worth it in the kingdom. So with that, I'll say shalom.